Hey guys, it's Jennifer Vivo, and I have a big announcement. We are doing our home market update for spring, and it is the time of the coronavirus, and we are in this home. It's been cleaned, it's been disinfected. We're coming to you from a gorgeous model home in the Claremont area. But our big announcement before we get to the numbers and what's going on with the coronavirus and the market is we are changing our name. So I've always been Jennifer Vivo, the Vivo real estate team, but you might have noticed that I have a lotus when I open up our all of our marketing, and so we are going to be known henceforth as Lotus Door Homes. So I hope you like it. There'll be more about that, but now let's get to the numbers for the spring market update in the Orlando, Florida market, special pandemic edition. Here we go. Hey guys, so I know you've been wondering, waiting, everybody's asking me what is going on with the Orlando housing market and how is the coronavirus and the current shutdown affecting the market. Right now, today is, what is it, April? Cameraman, help me out. What is the date today? April the 8th. Okay, so, and we've been shut down technically for about, going on 10 days or so, because I've been counting if you look on my Instagram. One of the good things and kind of the things that could still help you is that real estate is still categorized as an essential job, an essential function. Obviously, we're not going out there and going crazy with open houses and showings, and I'm out here to new construction. There's not that many people here, and we're going to talk about how can you buy a home, if you should buy a home during this time, what are the opportunities, and what are the numbers like. So let's just jump right into it. What we're seeing is that buyers are still buying and sellers are still selling, albeit maybe at a lesser pace than we saw before. But I will tell you that the last two homes that I showed had multiple offers on them. So if you're priced right, you have a great home. Remember, we came into the shutdown with a shortage of homes. Only 2 to 3 months of supply if no new homes came on the market for the current demand. We'll also talk later in another section of the video about, is this another 2008, which it is not. We have a very strong, robust housing market. We're just, kind of on pause right now, but we still have a lot more buyers in the market than we do sellers. So let's look at what that actually breaks down in the numbers for those of my analytics out there. If not, you can forward the video and I'll talk a little bit more about opportunities for buyers and sellers. So what we've seen in the greater Orlando area, that's Orlando, Kissimmee, North Orlando, in the last 10 days, we have seen 849 homes go under contract. That means pending, people. That's a really great number in the last 10 days. And in the last 5 days, out of that 849 of them, 383 homes went under contract in the last 5 days. Today's Thursday, so that's pretty much as of Friday, okay? In the Tampa Clearwater area, because I have a lot of my buyers thinking, should I go to Orlando? Should I go to Tampa? Shout out to Clearwater Beach. I love going out there. It's beautiful. We saw in the last 10 days, 1,184 homes go under contract, and 602 of those were done in the last 5 days. So we're definitely seeing people put their homes on the market. We're definitely seeing buyers coming out or doing some of the many different ways you can see homes virtually and other ways like that. In terms of sales of single family homes, as of March 29, we have 528 homes that week that sold. And the week before it was 517. So we actually saw an acceleration of homes being sold. In terms of the median price of a home, we've been creeping up, Orlando's been creeping up with the median price of a home. We are now at $275,000 for the median price of a single family home. If you want information on condos, townhomes, definitely reach out to me. I can get you more details, but people want to know what's the price of a home. That has changed and gone down 1.8%. So we've seen a slight softening in terms of pricing. Maybe there's a little bit more motivated sellers out there thinking, hey, you know what? I just want to get my house sold, and maybe a little quicker than I thought I did. As of February, people want to know, hey, how many homes sold this February versus last February? Less homes. So last February we were at 8,194 homes. This February we are at about 6,100. And the reason for that has not been because of we have the coronavirus. It's because we have a lack of inventory. We still need nice single family homes coming on the market in the Orlando area. You might have seen some of my past videos where I talk about the fact that we have 61,000 people or so that have been coming into the Orlando area every year for the past couple years. So we're going to see that in the near, next year or two, 1,700 families a week. It's just been a lot of people. Orlando's been one of the fastest growing cities in the country for a few years now. So maybe this is actually a nice kind of a little bit of a pause. And we'll talk about again how buyers can take advantage of this pause. Okay, so that is in terms of the last thing for sellers. Sellers want to know how many days is my house going to be on the market. In some areas, 3 days, 2 days. I've seen them go in 7 days, even just now. But if we look at an aggregate, last year a home took about 62 days, average days on the market. That's about 2 months or so to sell. And now we're sitting at about 52 days, which is a little less than 2 months. So we're actually selling homes faster this year than we were last year. And obviously there'll be a little bit of a slowdown with the shutdown, not as many people being able to go out and see homes. And we'll talk about how that affects the market. So those are the numbers in a minute. Now we're going to jump to interest rates. Okay guys, so interest rates, lending, what's going on? Are banks disappearing? Are they lending? Banks are lending, guys, for certain. What we're seeing right now is still continued very low interest rates. We've been seeing quotes from 3.25 to 3.75, with Orlando Realtor Association saying the average interest rate right now is about 3.4. And of course that depends on your income, your credit, certain factors. So we are definitely seeing historical lows. What is a historical low? We haven't seen rates this low in 50 years, okay? So you can buy more house because interest rates are low. When interest rates go higher, you're going to buy less house. Interest rates are lower means that you get more bang for your buck. In terms of the financing programs that are out there, yes, lenders are still lending, but right now during the shutdown, again, we're talking about, if you're watching this later on, this is a special coronavirus edition. We are day 10 in the shutdown. What we're seeing right now is that the banks are lending, but of course we're seeing a lot of unemployment. We're seeing people lose their jobs, or people having a lot of job uncertainty. And so what the banks are saying is that in order to get the more traditional loans that we've seen, FHA, Veterans Association, VA, USDA, US Department of Agriculture, and some of our down payment assistance programs, is a tightening on the credit score. So bottom line, you need to have a bit of a higher credit score now to buy a home than you did before. Some of the programs for the 580 scores are still out there, but the interest rates are higher. Whenever banks have to take more risk, they're going to make the credit terms a little tighter. That might be a higher interest rate, or you might have to do a little bit more on your credit score. And people are asking, well, what about my job? I have less hours, maybe I'm not working, or maybe my job said that they're going to hire me back. We call that verification of employment. And that means as you're doing the application process, and even right before closing, guys, don't quit your job before closing, because they are going to reach out to your employer. So in these special situations, they are making some flexibility, some accommodations if you have reduced hours, or if you're furloughed for a little bit. And these guidelines, guys, are changing every week. Every week, our lenders are looking at the guidelines and they're seeing what's going on in Wall Street. And you've got to have a great team. I cannot stress, you've got to have a good lender, good title company, good realtor. Hopefully you pick me, refer me, I'm looking for business. But you've got to have a great team. One of our team partners is Freedom Mortgage. And I can tell you that they are huddled down every day, looking at what's going on, making these loans work for you. They are here to work for you. They want your loan to go through. So if you want to find out a little bit more about what's going on with the different types of loans, they are changing, but definitely you got to have a little bit of a higher credit score these days. There's some flexibility on job employment, and interest rates are at a low. And now we're going to just run into why this is not like 2008. If you want to again, go forward in the video. You can, I know it's a bit of a long video. We're gonna talk about opportunities for buyers and sellers. Okay guys, so a lot of people are asking me, is this another housing crash? Is this another 2008? In a short answer, no, this is not 2008. This is not a housing crash. I lived through that. I've been doing residential real estate for 15 years. This is a very different situation. This is the whole world kind of got a cold and you got to stay home. This is a pause. Is there going to be a bit of an economic slowdown? Of course there is. We're already going to see some bit of recession going on. But this is not 2008 because in 2008, it was a problem of deregulation. Anybody could get a loan. If you had a heartbeat and a social security number, you too were approved for a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 loan. And they didn't disclose that these loans were adjustable interest rates, balloon interest rates, all types of what we call predatory lending was going on. And not only that, we had institutional failures all the way through to Wall Street, all the way through to Standards and Poor's. So you'd get into a high-risk loan, no income, no assets, no verification. We call those NINA and CISA, no income, no asset loans. And they'd give you a very, very high loan amount. Appraisers would write up whatever value that the lender wanted. And then those were packaged as loans that were AAA paper, A-rated paper. So now we have a lot of regulation. It's not easy. You've got to give a DNA sample and your firstborn child to get a loan these days. So we're not going to see this huge avalanche of foreclosures based on predatory lending. Anybody can get a loan. Now we have tight credit standards when you're getting a loan. And so what it might mean is that maybe less people are buying right now, sure, but the people that are buying, are much more solid than what happened in 2008. So this is not that particular market. This will have its own different challenges, but the bones of the real estate industry, the structure, the economy, as you're probably hearing, are solid. And once we get back to work, we're going to go forward. Life may not be exactly the same. You may just decide, hey, I want to do virtual tours instead of going to see a home in person, and you might have more options on that. But this is not another 2008. Okay guys, so before we get going, we want to know what are the opportunities right now for buyers and sellers. And I know you're thinking, Jennifer, I would never buy a home during the coronavirus, or I would never sell my home during the coronavirus. Well, there are opportunities in every market. And buying a home and selling a home is a basic need. That's why realtors and people in the real estate industry are considered essential workers. People have to relocate. People have to, get out of their lease or maybe go into a different situation. So for those of you who really feel like, hey, you know what? I do want to make a move in this market. If you're a seller, the buyers out there right now are very motivated. They're not looky-loos. They're not here to waste your time. They are out there looking at your home because they want to buy a house right now. And their realtor is probably pretty sure that they want to buy a house as well. So when you're showing your home, we have clean home showing procedures. We can do virtual tours. We can show your home virtually to buyers. And for some of our sellers who don't want to let buyers in their home right now, we're actually getting them together on YouTube, on Google Hangouts or different video apps so that they can walk through the home themselves. And we also have our blue glove service, and we have masks, we have gloves for those of you who say, hey, you know what, Jen, we want to go see a home. What I do is I open up everything is all open. You just come in, you go out, and it's a very easy process. It's something that you can feel comfortable and confident. That might not be available for every home, but sellers, this is a great time to find a very serious buyer. Okay, for my buyers, there are definitely some motivated sellers. People who are selling their homes right now probably have a pretty good reason to sell. And especially if you're finding I'm seeing really great opportunities for you buyers with builders. Like we're in a community right now, a lot of amazing incentives where they're paying all your closing costs, where they are throwing in all of the appliances. We already have low rates, right? Rates are 3.5%, but they're buying down the rate to 2.99. I have a builder right now that's giving out 2.99 and paying all your closing costs. So builders have to continue to sell, and they have deeper pockets. So you want to take advantage of that. Also, people who are trying to move their homes right now are investors, people who flip homes. So if you see homes that are remodeled recently, they're likely been flipped by an investor, and that investor, typically a lot of our investors will use balloon notes, high interest programs where they don't plan on holding onto that house for more than 30 days, 90 days, 6 months max, because then they have additional financing fees that they have to pay that are big. So they are very motivated, and I've been getting a lot of investors contacting me saying, hey, you know what, we're dropping the price on this. Hey, you know what, we're paying closing costs on this. So guys, if you're a buyer right now and you're out there, not only you're gonna get a low interest rate where you can buy more homes, you're gonna have a higher chance to find a seller that wants to give you additional help with closing costs, with different things. So this is really a great window right now of opportunity for you. So there are opportunities in every market. You want to shift, you want to look. If buying a home right now is something that you want to do, please contact me. I do virtual dream home planning sessions. If you're thinking of selling, I do virtual consultations. What is your home worth now in this market? Who's selling and how are they affecting your value? I give you a free analysis on that. So I hope that this video has been helpful in terms of the numbers and the environment and what's going on. Things are changing all the time. Feel free to call me, text me. My number is 407-921-1310. I'm here to educate you, to equip you, to help you make the best decision for you and your family when you're ready. Again, this is Jennifer DeVivo with Now Lotus Door Homes, helping you find your way